Hey guys, today we are going to explain the latest 2025 web series named MobLand. This web series is full of action involving two gangster families who are at war with each other. So what is the outcome of this battle? Without delay, let's move toward the story of episode 1. In episode 1, we see Tom Hardy, whose character's name is Harry in the series. In front of Harry, many people are sitting. These are the members of the two gangs. These two gangs are not getting along at all. Harry tries to explain to them, please understand, there's nothing in fighting. Why don't both of you shake hands? But both gangs refuse to shake hands with each other. Harry was just trying to solve the problem, but the gang members were not agreeing. So Harry says, I'll be back in a while. Till then, you both think it over. And then Harry goes to meet his boss, Conrad, the man he works for. Conrad is also a dangerous person. Whether it's killing someone or robbing them, Conrad handles all of it. Harry tells Conrad that both gangs are refusing to shake hands or apologize. So Conrad says, if that's the case, then finish both gangs, end the matter altogether. When a tree becomes big, its branches get entangled with each other, and that creates problems, so before this becomes a bigger issue, end it. So Harry does exactly that. He goes downstairs with his team and kills the people from both gangs. This shows us that Harry doesn't take even a minute to make decisions, and it also reveals how dangerous Conrad is. He makes decisions in a split second. Conrad comes downstairs and puts his foot on the neck of one of the gang leaders and says, "You really are filth from the gutter." The gang members don't understand what just happened, and Conrad kills them and moves ahead. This is how the episode begins. We now see a boy named Eddie inside a club. He's Conrad's grandson. Inside the club, Eddie meets a boy named Tommy, who belongs to the Stevens family. Eddie belongs to the Harrington family. These two families have been feuding for a long time, but despite that, these two boys meet each other. Seeing this, someone takes a photo of them. Eddie doesn't like this and throws the guy's phone away. Eddie says, our families shouldn't find out about this. We're just hanging out for one night. But Eddie doesn't realize that this one night of fun is going to cost them big time. Eddie takes a bit of cocaine here and then goes inside the club. He is very rich, and because of that, he acts arrogantly. In the same club, he meets a boy and feels that this guy might try to attack him. So Eddie pulls out his knife and stabs him. The boy is injured, and Eddie runs away from there with Tommy. The club bouncers try to catch Eddie, but by then Eddie and Tommy are already gone. Both of them meet at a spot. Eddie asks Tommy, "Where were you?" Tommy replies, "They were chasing me, so I quietly ran away and came here." Eddie throws the knife he used into the river. The next morning, we see Conrad near the river catching fish. At his house, a man named Archie shows up. He's Conrad's childhood friend. When Archie enters Conrad's house, he meets Maeve, Conrad's wife. She says, "I thought you were dead." Archie replies, "No, I was never killed." Maeve says, "It was your younger brother who died." Archie asks about Conrad, and Maeve says, "He's by the river, catching fish as usual." We get a little insight into Maeve's character here, but her true nature will be revealed later. Archie goes to Conrad. Conrad asks him about the job he assigned him. He's referring to buying a property owned by the Stevens family. Archie says it's not the right time to buy that land, or else a war might break out between the families. But Conrad doesn't agree. He says, this job must be done no matter what. We then see Harry, who is asking Zia about a car. Zia tells him everything about the car. Just then, Harry gets a call from Kevin Harrington, Conrad's son. Kevin says, "My son Eddie came home last night covered in blood. Something serious must have happened. Come quickly." Harry goes to Kevin's house. That's also his job, to clean up any mess that happens within the Harrington family. As soon as Harry arrives, he asks Eddie what happened last night. Eddie says, "I was at the club." Harry asks, "Did you stab a guy?" Eddie replies, "I thought he was going to attack me, so I stabbed him." Harry asks about the knife, and Eddie says he threw it in the river. Harry tells him, "Bring me the clothes and shoes you were wearing last night." Eddie's mom brings the clothes and shoes. Her name is Bella, and she also talks to Harry privately, pleading, "Please, save my son. If a police case happens, it could get worse." She offers him tea with her own hands. Harry takes the clothes, drives to the same club where the stabbing happened, and talks to the club owner. He says he wants the CCTV footage. The owner refuses. Harry threatens him, shows his gun, and says, "I'm in first gear right now. Don't force me into sixth." Club staff gets scared and gives him the footage. Harry watches the footage and confirms that the attacker was Eddie Harrington. He also asks the club staff if they know who the stabbed guy was. They say his name is Huey, and he sometimes works at the club. Harry then calls a friend at the police station and asks who is going to interrogate Huey. His friend says 2 officers are on their way. Harry then calls a girl he knows and asks for a hospital contact where Huey might be admitted. She gives him a contact, and Harry heads to the hospital. Meanwhile, we also see Harry's wife Jane at a meditation group. There she meets a woman named Alice. Both are new to therapy and become friends. Harry arrives at the hospital and asks the nurse where Huey is. The nurse points him to Huey's bed. When Harry approaches him, Huey gets scared. Harry says, "Don't be scared. I know Eddie stabbed you, but soon the police will come. Just tell them the club was dark and you couldn't see who stabbed you. If you tell the truth, I will ruin you, because it's my job to clean the mess for the people I work for. Huey gets scared. Harry thus handles the situation. He puts Eddie's bloody clothes into a coffin and seals them. Now we see Richie Stevens, Tommy's father. His wife Veroni calls someone and says, "My son hasn't come home since last night." But she gets no information and tells Richie to do something. Richie sends his men to the club. They find out that Tommy was with Eddie the previous night. Knowing this, Richie calls Kevin and says, "Why are you starting a fight? My son was with your son Eddie last night and now he's missing." Kevin replies, "I don't know anything. My son is resting at home." Harry goes home where his wife, Jane, and daughter are. He apologizes to Jane for coming home late. Jane complains that he always does this and suggests seeing a therapist. Harry says he doesn't have time. Jane reminds him their relationship once almost ended in divorce. Harry promises to change. Then Kevin calls Harry and says, "Richie's son Tommy is missing. He was with Eddie last night. Clean up this mess quickly." Harry says, "Don't worry, I'll talk to your son." He tells Jane he has to leave and drives away. Harry calls Bella, Kevin's wife, and asks to speak to Eddie. She says Eddie is asleep. Harry tries to ask Eddie if Tommy was with him last night, but Eddie doesn't answer. Harry then calls Conrad and updates him. Conrad already knows. He tells Harry to meet Richie and explain that they're not behind Tommy's disappearance. If Richie doesn't understand, take a few shooters and kill him. So Harry gathers his shooters and goes to a gym where he plans to meet Richie. He tells his shooters, "Wait for my signal. Only shoot if I signal." Inside, the gym owner asks for money to set up the meeting. Harry pays him. Richie arrives. A sniper is already aimed at him. Inside, Richie tells Harry, "You seem like a good guy, loyal and smart, but you're on the wrong team. Why don't you join me instead? You know how greedy and arrogant the Harringtons are." Harry refuses. Then Richie gets to the point. "My son hasn't returned home. He was with Eddie last night. I want to meet Eddie face to face. If you don't bring him to me in a few hours, things will go out of control." Harry says, "Don't worry, I'll bring him." After the meeting, Harry walks out. His shooters await the signal. Harry calls Conrad and asks if they should kill Richie or spare him. Conrad is a bit confused. Then Maeve, his wife, comes and says, "Don't kill Richie." So Conrad says, "Fine, don't kill him." Harry signals his shooters to stand down. We then see Conrad with Maeve. Their daughter Serafina comes home and meets everyone. A man named Brandon also shows up, along with Kevin. They all gather at home. Archie is already there. Later, Maeve secretly tells Conrad, "Archie is trying to betray us. I think he's working with the Stevens family." So Conrad gathers the family and holds a meeting. He says their business is growing and Archie is doing a great job as their associate. He also announces they will now target fentanyl and they plan to take it from the Stevens family. But Archie stops Conrad in between and says, "Why are you so obsessed with fentanyl? We can find another solution for this." This makes Conrad suspicious that Archie might actually be working with those people. So Conrad goes inside the house, brings out a gun, sits down next to Archie and starts accusing him, "You're truly a traitor." And without thinking, he shoots Archie. Everyone is left shocked after witnessing this. Even though Archie was Conrad's childhood friend, Archie is now dead. Conrad himself feels the pain of this. He stands in one spot and starts crying. His wife, Maeve, comes to him and tries to console him, but Conrad says, "You better stay away from me." Then suspenseful music starts playing, but the question still remains unanswered. Who was the real traitor? Was it really Archie or was it Maeve from within the family? Only the upcoming episodes will reveal the truth. And with that, our first episode ends right here. We'll meet again with episode 2. Until then, make sure to subscribe to the channel, stay happy, and take care of yourself.